Oh,
Wait,
your
what?
jokes.
Oh, yeah. So no, so
This is a good highlight. Let's write this down.
Highlight, by the way.
I think I'm gonna be
20.
telling you the story. So it's like I was hanging out with a couple friends, and it's like we were like riffing, and it's like for reference, believe it or not, I was in improv in high school.
Oh my god.
Yeah, believe it or not. And
Ripley.
I'm not.
And so
don't
anyway, we were just like hanging out and we were riffing, and then afterwards one of these guys was like, "Do you memorize this stuff?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Do you write this stuff down beforehand and then memorize it, like these jokes in case things come up?" And it's like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, that's what I thought that you did." It's like, what? He's like, he thought that I like planned for anything that could come up and like wrote jokes for it, like.
Well, didn't you say in a previous podcast, just memorize 3 facts about everything so you seem interesting?
I mean
I think that's what people
That's good
say in
advice.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general.
Well, no, I do.
Oh, the 43? That was a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What?
That's
1943.
Well,
What happened?
the funny thing is, so like okay, obviously most of us here have a very similar sense of humor, right? And even though, in most cases I'm the one making these riffs and being like obtuse or whatever, I guess, yeah. So I was like that, and since like as long as I can remember. And in college, when people would say stuff, I would just riff on them or just be willfully obtuse. Like like if someone goes like, "Oh yeah, I went to this thing," and I go, "Oh wait, what's that?" And then just act dumb, right? You just it's funny. And then I'm pretty sure it's on the screen, but I'm doing this now because we can highlight it. But a guy pulled me aside, and this guy in college, he's pretty much a dick. Like, I went to a Christian school. Most people were very, they were nice. They were still cliques, but like no one, like there weren't many people who were like overtly like college bro, because this is a very small school. You had Christian, there wasn't Greek life, right? So you didn't have like the typical like meathead, whatever. Usually if there was a meathead, he's still like Christian, so there's still some sensibility behind it.
Christian
Anyway,
meathead.
this guy,
Sensible
I don't know
meatheads.
how this guy came in there, because he had never grown up Seventh-day Adventist. He had never, like, this guy, just came to my fucking university for no reason, but he was on my floor. We were kind of friends, and he's the kind of guy who he called me Ethan Twat. Like, that was like his go-to name. Like, that was like he was literally the college meatheads. Like, "Oh, what's up, Ethan Twat? How's your dong hanging, bro?" Like, it was like one of those things.
He got you.
And so
That's a great thing to say.
Get last.
Yeah,
and,
he's
this is a
doing pretty
guy
well so
who
far.
would show up like high to class. I mean, I'm sure people did, but like because it was this guy, it was way more noticeable. Like, we were in this community outreaching. Like, you either did like tutoring for like the local high school or local like elementary school. There was also like a garden on campus, so like you could do like that, and we were there together. And one time, like, he was like fucking like coked out of his mind or whatever.
Oh my
And
god.
he was like on Adderall. I don't know. He was like, "What if we just like built a fence?" I'm like, we're not doing that. Anyway, this guy, he like pulled me aside one time, and he's like, "Hey, think I talked for a second?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, dude. What's up?" He's like, I was thinking, sometimes we have lunch, you're making these jokes, or you're trying to be funny, but do you know, like, your jokes aren't that funny? It's almost like you don't know what you're talking about. You're being stupid. And I'm like, "Oh no, dude, it's all a bit. It's okay." He's like, "Is it? Like, are you?" And I'm like, "Yes, yeah, no, I'm serious." And then like,
Are you sure you're not stupid, Ethan?
He's so concerned.
and then like my friend Scott, who's Swoon PM, shout out to horses, or don't shout out horses.
Shout out to
Don't
horses.
shout out horses. But he was there, and Scott likes to play. Like, we're all dumb, but whenever I
We're all
do, it,
dumb.
he takes the role of like the straight man, right? Like, he'll just like push me to see how stupid I can be, like typical stuff, like in improv or whatever. And he's like, but Scott's not stupid, and I'm like, Scott's just like cracking his head. He's like laughing so hard that I'm having this guy like took the time to like reach out to me and make sure I'm doing okay, because my humor is weird. And I was like, maybe I gotta stop acting stupid, like, if this is what people think. But
It just blurs into reality.